In one sense, our next story's pretty typical fair go, a scrap over compensation. But the rest isn't typical. You don't get more dramatic pictures nor more excruciating plots. Our story's all about buying a house on one site and having it moved to another, and what happens when it all goes wrong. And it doesn't go much more dramatically wrong than what we're about to see. This is where Gillian and Kevin Bealby and their two children, Alison and Jennifer, should be living, on this elevated house site on their lifestyle block at Lowburn in North Canterbury. All there is, though, of their house are the foundations.
We found a beautiful 3-4 bedroom house with solid wooden floors, beautifully decorated inside, just perfect, yeah, great windows.
And you arranged for the house to be transported here from Christchurch. How far was that move and how long did it take?
It took about 8 hours. It left at midnight from Kashmir and it arrived here about 8 o'clock in the morning. A total of 96 kilometres.
You must have been pretty excited when it came round to the day of the move.
It was awesome, especially being English people, because you don't see houses being moved in the UK.
They were so excited that Gillian and Kevin actually videoed the whole project, commentary and all, and we're going to show you highlights from that video. Like all good movies, the drama happens at the end, but we're going to show you a bit of the build-up, just so you get a feel for the enthusiasm that they had for the project.
This is the outside of the house. You can see where it's been cut from here, and the roof is still yet to come off. This is the front part of the lounge that's been cut off, and the step entrance, and that's our bedroom.
Well, here we are back at the house again. It's actually being moved tonight. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. It's up on the truck, as you can see. And it's going at 1 o'clock in the morning. It should take about 5 to 6 hours to travel about 40k. Okay, here we are. It's midnight. It's just starting to move. This is Howard, by the way.
Oh, hi guys.
This is who we're buying the house off.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you very much. In the morning, and I got home about 3 o'clock last night, so I didn't sleep very well, and I'm trying to meet my house. Well, here we are, coming over our little stream bridge. I might have to get out of the way, but it's slowly coming. Probably the moment or two to get yourself up that hill. Oh, okay, now I've regained my composure. We can see what we're looking at is falling off the bleeding truck. It's taken 9 hours to get here, 9 hours, and we're 2 minutes away from the foundation. And the axle broke on the truck. Unbelievable. I'd been willing Gillian to turn up that morning at about 8:45. She was due to arrive with the children, and the house was just driving up that hill. And I'm looking at the watch thinking, I wish Gillian could see it come on a trailer. And the damn thing fell off, and as soon as it fell off, Gillian turned around the corner with the children, and she was just devastated, and I felt so sorry for Gillian.
Just utter disbelief, and just disbelief, that how could it possibly have tipped over? And you come round and think it's on its side, everybody's saying it's going to be all right, and you're wondering how it can be all right. Yeah, the disbelief, the shock, and the way it left you feeling was incredible. You just were shaking all over.
The house was so extensively damaged that it was considered the best thing to do was just to salvage some of the valuable bits and pieces from the house, like the hot water cylinder and the whiteware, and put a match to the rest. This is what remains of the dream. Kevin, what caused the problem?
Well, as far as we were aware, the hydraulics failed on the truck, but we never actually found out for sure.
Gillian, the carriers accepted responsibility?
Yes, they did.
And the house was insured, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
But you want the carriers to accept responsibility for consequential losses to you?
That's correct, yes. For all the things that we weren't covered under the house insurance for.
Kevin and Gillian are left with $12,000 worth of concrete foundations specially built for a house that no longer exists and would cost thousands more to remove. They've got other bills connected with the house removal but not covered by the house insurance, and they've paid out 6 months of rent that they hadn't budgeted on for somewhere to live in the meantime.
We're looking for approximately $20,000 as consequential losses. Yeah.
Through their insurance, Gillian and Kevin had already got back what they'd paid for the house and what they'd paid Waitaki Transport of Oamaru to move it. But the marine cargo type insurance they'd bought through the carriers doesn't cover consequential losses. For example, getting the house reinforced prior to moving, the new foundations, various consents and legal costs, etc. So, Gillian and Kevin felt Waitaki Transport should compensate them for that, and the extra rent, etc., that they were having to pay. Before we came on the scene, Waitaki Transport had paid them $13,000 and moved a double garage onto the Lowburn site for free. They felt that covered their obligations, but Kevin and Gillian felt they were owed another $20,000. Well, we think a realistic settlement would be for Waitaki Transport to pay a further $7,000 or $8,000, given they've already paid 13 grand. Yesterday, Waitaki Transport agreed to this. They've offered a further $7,750 as long as Kevin and Gillian accept the payout as final settlement. Kevin and Gillian today accepted this. They're going to look at building a new house on the old foundations. We wish them much better luck with that venture. Transporting whole houses is pretty uncharted territory for most of us. How much do you insure the house for example? Could Kevin and Gillian have covered themselves better? Our insurance experts tell us
you can only insure a house in transit for what it costs you, not its replacement or potential value once it gets to the other end. The marine cargo insurance you take out for the journey itself will not cover you for consequential losses, but you should also take out a contractor's all-risk policy as well, which covers work on the new site before and after the house arrives, including the foundation, sewerage and power.
And we reckon you're probably better to arrange your own insurance rather than go with a policy provided by the transporter. Hope that helps. Before we go, before we get into the break, let's look at that house collapse again. If you thought Gillian and Kevin were unlucky, how's this for lucky? Keep an eye on the workmen standing under the house.